Good afternoon to all the aspirants from Team NeoStencil. I hope you had a great run at UPSC Prelims 2019. We are here to give you a detailed analysis of GS Paper 1 today. Anadi, let's begin.
So thanks Shubhra. Hello everyone. So let's begin with the overall, analysis of the paper pattern, which subject, carried how many marks and how many questions were asked from each subject. So if you see the paper, out of the 100 questions, we have had a fair share of distribution when it comes to, different subjects. So current affair, again, it took the chunk of the paper, major chunk of the paper. 17 questions were asked from current affairs section. So after current affair, again, the second most important part or the second most important subject when it comes to this year's prelim was the environment and biodiversity part. So we hope that all our IFOS aspirants, friends, they're also happy about it. After current affairs and environment, the other major section which was asked in the prelims exam was economics. So Indian economy, a good chunk of static as well as dynamic part was asked in the exam. After economy, so there was a brief, distribution of subjects like ancient history, where 4 questions were asked from ancient history, 6 questions were asked from medieval history, and modern history surprisingly this time had a lower share of the questions in UPSC Prelims 2019. Earlier it used to have around 10 to 12 questions. UPSC used to ask a good number of questions. This time, modern history, they only asked 7 questions. Polity, again, 12 questions were asked. So science and tech, again, 9 to 10 questions were asked out of science and tech section. Government schemes, 1 question was asked out of government scheme section. So now, the analysis we all have been waiting for. Was it tough? Was it easy? How was the paper? So paper was slightly tougher than last year, that is for sure. Right. So now let us come to those questions, those easy questions, which you should have answered rightly, which either were picked up directly from the textbooks or which you would have been, reading every day in the newspaper, or which would have been solved by common sense or logic. So let us have a look at those questions. So right now we are talking about set A. If we see the set A and we come on to question number 2, question number 2 was quite a straightforward question. With reference to the land reforms in independent India, which one of the following statement is correct? This question could be solved by reading the textbook or even by common sense, that land reforms, the major aim of land reforms was providing agricultural land to all the landless people. So that was the answer. It was a common sense based question as well as directly given in all the textbooks. Next question, if we see, a very straightforward question. Every year UPSC has this trend of asking reports and which agency publishes which report. So this time UPSC asked about the global competitiveness report, and it was a straightforward question. You could have found it in any of the newspapers, or if you've been studying online, this report, you would have read about it. So that was a very easy question. Again, if you see the 4th question, so 3 questions in a row are very easy. The Charter Act of 1813. Lakshmikant Polity, the first chapter, it talks about Charter Act of 1813 and its features. If you would have read that chapter, you would have easily answered this question. Coming on to this next question again, the 5th question, Swadeshi movement. This question is there in this topic is there in all the textbooks. It is an important movement when it comes to the history of India, right? The Indian independence movement, and it is again a very straightforward question, very easy question. Similarly, question 6, All India Untouchability League, it was established by Mahatma Gandhi. Everybody knows that. Self-respect movement, E.V. Ramaswamy Naikar, everybody knows that. It is given directly in the textbooks. No matter which book you have referred to, every book would have these questions. Next, coming on to the next easy question, if we talk of Mahayana Buddhism. So we've seen that UPSC has been asking a lot of questions on Buddhism and Jainism, and aspirants prepare well for these topics. And this Mahayana Buddhism topic has been given in many books. For example, the new NCERT has it, the old NCERTs, they also have this topic. And it is a very straightforward question, and anybody with the knowledge of even a cursory glance at Buddhism would be able to answer this. Similarly, question number 10, the forced labor Vishti in Gupta period. If you would have been reading the old 11th class NCERT, you would have straightforward found this question right there in the textbook. Then coming on to the next question, next easy question. if we see question number 17 in set A. So question number 17, it talks about the painting forms in the Mughal period, and it explicitly asks that which Mughal emperor shifted emphasis from illustrated manuscript to album and individual portraits. So again, the standard textbooks that all of you read, be it the 11th class NCRT, be it Nitin Singhania book, it is given there directly, and it was again a straightforward question. Coming on to the next very easy question, which is what you call a lollipop. Atal Innovation Mission is set up under. So this is the question number 19th. So the answer is Niti Aayog. It is as simple as that. Anybody who has even given a cursory glance at the newspapers in the last 1 year or so would know the answer to this question. So like these, many other questions were very simple. For example, the microbeads question, which has been asked in question 30, it's the environment question. Very easy, very simple to attempt. Who selects the chairman of public service, who selects the chairman of the banks, the public service banks? It is again a very simple question. Bank Boards Bureau, it has been in news for like 2 or 3 years now. It is a very simple question again. VoLTE and LTE, all of us have been using Geo, so this question was directly, put in the question because, people should use their common sense, people should use their logic. So we all have been using Geo, we know about VoLTE and LTE, again a very straightforward question. Even somebody who's not into UPSC preparation could also answer this. Next comes the economic cost of food grains, the question number 79 in paper A. Again, a very simple question directly given in the books. GDPR, so this thing was in the newspaper for around year and a half now, European Union, this was in context of the European Union. So question number 87 was directly based on that. And question number 95, again, wearable technology, your smart watches, your Google goggles, the Google, eyewear that you've had, it was based on that. Again, a very simple question. So all in all, around 30 to 40 questions, 30 to 35 at least, were those questions which could have been answered if you would have studied the books regularly, if you would have, gone through the newspaper, or you would have used your logic and common sense in the paper. So that accounts to 70 marks. So 35 into 2 is 70 marks. Those marks were definitely in your kitty if you would have, prepared well for this exam. Now coming on to the difficult part, I would like Shubhra to explain you the difficult questions and what was the trend there.
So the first page, when we see set A, he's covered almost all the questions, but one question I found difficult was question number 7, where they're asking which is not a Harappan site. Generally, this looks like an easy question, but the books that we generally refer to do not mention all the sites, especially the sites that are mentioned here. This question was tricky. I don't think so students will find it easier. Again, coming down, there was a question about new order and old order related to agriculture. So first, a student should be aware what is new order crops and what is an old order crop. And there were 4 different crops. So that was a very, very difficult question according to me. Tricky question. But if you know the definition of old order, new order, I think by elimination you should be able to solve that. I missed question number 14. Question number 14 was a very good question. It talked about British colonial rule in India. And then point number 1 is Mahatma Gandhi was instrumental in the abolition of the system of indentured labor. Now point is, indentured labor and abolition was done in South Africa, and it was not a part of British colonial rule in India. So this was a very tricky question. I'm sure students must have made mistakes here. There were a lot of map-based questions. So if we come down to question number 18, question number 18 says, which of the following national parks lies completely in the temperate alpine zone? Again, mapping-based question. Another thing that we noticed is they don't have a shuffle of questions this year. If they're talking about mapping questions, they have mapping questions on one page, polity questions, one after the other, right, Anadi?
Yes.
And again, after 18, again, question number 23 is again a map-based question. Question number 3 asks, it's a match the following question, which place lies on which river? Straightforward question. If you've done your Indian political map, Indian physical map properly, you will know the answer. Again, question number 7, Augustamalai Biosphere Reserve. What all places are included in it? Question number 36, sea and their bordering country. Very direct map-based question. Again, right after that, question number 38, glacier and river. So again, one after the other, they have same subject questions. So that is one easy thing about this paper, that students do not get confused. One time you have to solve a polity question, and in the next instance you have to solve a geography question.
Right. So, and also if we see, so UPSC has this, particular tendency of asking a lot of map based questions, which was again repeated in this year paper, right? So that is there. Now coming on to the conclusion and talking about the overall difficulty. Yes, like I said, the paper was more difficult as compared to the previous year. Also, the seats this time are more. So since the difficulty level is more and the seats are also more, I think the cutoff would somewhere slightly be the same. We have uploaded the cutoffs, the predicted cutoffs, which we have come out in association with our expert teachers and expert institutes at NeoStencil. So that cutoff we have uploaded on our website. You can find the link in the description of the video. You can go and have a look. You can go and have a look at the detailed answer key. There is also a prelims score calculator, which is one of its kind that we have developed. You can punch in your answers and you can see the correct answers, wrong answers along with your total score, and along with the holistic explanation and the sources also. So we've done that job for you. You can go in the description. You can click at the link, and also please do leave your comments. Once you visit the answer key page, about if you find any problem with any of the answer keys, we would be more than happy to look into it and update it if needed. And all the best. And we hope that all of you are going to sit for mains, which begins in September. Do not waste any further time. If you are confident about the kind of preparation that you've had done in the past, and if you're confident about the way you've appeared in the paper today, nobody can stop you from appearing in the mains. All the best, and have a great day today. Take some rest and get back to work from tomorrow. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.